Can you hear me, class? Hello, class. Good afternoon. Okay, so I think you have been muted by the host. Okay, so once again, I I welcome you to my class. This is Joseph Afari Buabeng, and I will be your lecturer for Introduction to Procurement and Supply. It's unfortunate you cannot respond to me.
Sir, it's back now.
Working now, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, as formality demands, anytime we meet, you meet a new person, you need to introduce yourself. But it's unfortunate that we are having an online meeting. So normally, we don't do introduction. We do proper introduction when we have our first face-to-face meeting. So hopefully, I think on the 14th of March, we will have that face-to-face meeting. So during that encounter, we will do proper introduction. But in the meantime, I'll be your lecturer. I am affiliated to the Department of Procurement, Logistics and Supply Chain and the GCTU Business School. So basically, this is the course outline. It's available on the LMS as well as the slides. Then there's a book for Introduction to Procurement and Supply. All these documents are available on the LMS. So let me quickly take you through the outline. So you can find all these. I want to place much emphasis on grading criteria. So normally, this is how I grade students. For the interim assessment, the total mark is 40%. Mid semester is 10%, and then class assignment. Not only that, class assignment and quizzes. And I love to do unannounced quizzes. So if you have spoken with those in level 200, probably you have been informed. So I love to do unannounced quizzes. Today, we are not going to do any quiz, but aside today, anytime we meet, there's a possibility to, have an unannounced quiz. And then we have class attendance and participation. Class attendance and participation, it is 10 marks. So I take attendance seriously. I don't have the class list yet, but I believe the class reps will send me the list. So right after the meeting, I will be taking screenshots of those of you online now, and then I'll be recording the attendance from my end. So that is that. And then the end of semester is 60%. So for week 1 and 2, we'll focus on the introduction and scope of procurement, which has 3 major sessions. And then week 3, we do the influence of procurement. We also do week 4, procurement management. Then we will also consider procurement cycle and planning, and that will be on the week 5 and 6. And hopefully on the 7th week, we will take our mid-semester exams. And then right after the mid-semester exams, we do supply chain. And then we also look at, yes, we do supply chain. We look at the concept of supply chains, and then supply chain management all in one. And then with 10, we look at buyer-supplier relationships. And then finally, we consider contract in procurement and supply, just the intro aspect of it. So basically, these are the courses, I mean, the topics we'll be looking at for, this course. So in the next few seconds, if you do have expectations, if there are comments, questions, you can ask. Again, I want to apologize for being late because, right after my morning lecture with the level 200, I moved to the business school to meet my regular students. So, traffic. I just got home. So that is why we couldn't start at exactly 3:50 as expected. I believe moving forward, we will manage to, work within schedule. So if there are comments, questions, or any expectations, kindly let me know. Thank you very much. Yes, class. Let me hear from you. Say something.
Can I unmute and talk, please?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Gabriel.
Yes,
Is that Gabriel?
Yes, please.
Classroom. Go ahead. Okay.
I'm the assistant, the deputy.
Okay.
I wanted to ask about the class assignments, the unannounced one. Is it going to be both online and in person, or just in person?
So I said that anytime we have a lecture, whether it is online or face-to-face, there is a possibility. Okay. And then when we are doing the online one, the quiz, I normally do that through WhatsApp. So all students will activate their WhatsApp. And I believe all of you are on WhatsApp. So I'll put the question, project the questions, and then give you a time frame to submit your answers. If you submit the answers after the deadline, it will not be counted or it will not be recorded. So that is what I normally do. But for face-to-face meeting, we do everything in class. And right after the quiz, I project the answers, to the whole class. Then we move on. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I think they are Harrison. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, sir, and you're welcome. My name is Harrison.
Okay.
Please, like I always ask all the lecturers, the slides or the learning material that we will be needing for further studies, is it only on the LMS or we can get a hard copy from maybe the library or something?
Okay.
That is
Are you
my question. Yeah.
okay? Do you have a challenge accessing the LMS?
I don't.
Okay, so that is the medium. All the information, the required materials are there. Okay, slides,
Okay.
week 1 up to the final week. Every week I will upload the slide. And then the entire course material is there. Okay, the document is there as well as the outline. It is there.
Okay.
But if
Okay.
a student has a peculiar challenge, I think the document could be forwarded to that person directly.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Jonas,
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your guidelines and how you've specified how you want the course to run. We are also pray and hope that we are able to catch up with your expectation and do and also contribute to the success of the story. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Last year, the first batch, majority of the students were or are still with the security services. I don't know if we have some of you here, maybe military, immigration, fire. Do we have?
Yes, sir, we do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have, sir.
Yes, sir. We are here, sir.
Oh, you are welcome. You are welcome.
We are
But
plenty.
90% or so for belong to, that category for the last year's batch, and I believe we still have the numbers. If you have a peculiar challenge as a student, don't keep it to yourself. At least for my course, kindly communicate that to me. Let me know your challenge. Don't wait to examination, because students are like that. After examination, they will be sending you messages, they will be calling you, giving you all sort of excuses. And then when I give out assignments, I don't joke with timelines or deadlines. If you miss the deadline, I don't record. So that's why I'm saying that if you find assignment submission deadline, you have issues with that, kindly let me know. Don't wait. Okay. If you have any challenge with the course, maybe the topics, any of the topics, just draw my attention to that and you'll be helped. Don't wait till we are done with the semester. I hope that is fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so,
Yes, sir.
all right, so we will start, without wasting time, we will start with week 1. Okay, so like I said, we are looking at introduction and scope of procurement. I know some of you are already into practice, and some of you have no knowledge at all in procurement. This is just an introduction. So let us be on the same wavelength, okay? Even if you know, just relax, allow those who don't know to understand so that we move together in the same direction. All right, so these are the objectives of, today's meeting. The expectation is that you should be able to explain the relevant concepts in procurement at the end of this lecture. And then again, you should be able to understand the procurement structures. There are procurement structures. So once we are done with this tutorial or lecture, you should be able to understand that and then appreciate the scope of procurement. And then finally, you should be able to analyze the importance of procurement. Now, let us look at some key concepts in procurement. Sometimes, even students of procurement find it difficult to distinguish among these related concepts. The first one has to do with supply chain. Supply chain. So when we talk about supply chain, it could be defined as the process that integrates, coordinates, and controls the movement of goods, materials, and information from a supplier through to a customer and or the final consumer or user. So when you hear supply chain, it's just a process, and that process tries to integrate, coordinate, and controls the movement of goods, not only goods, movement of information, movement of resources, could be money, could be any related resource. From a supplier to a customer and or to the final consumer or user. So this process links all the activities between suppliers and customers to the consumer in a timely manner. That is the essence of the supply chain. So if you've seen a chain before, the chain we normally work, you see that there are some links, there are some connections. So we use that to, explain how goods move from, the original source to customers or consumers. They are players. So before a product, any product can get to the final consumer, there is what we term as what? A chain, a supply chain. So that process is a process coordinating, controlling, and then integrating the movement of, the goods, the movement of information from suppliers to the consumer or the customer. You get it? So that is the supply chain. So if you look at any supply chain, like I've mentioned, the activities include buying or sourcing, or you can simply say procurement. You can also find activity like manufacturing or making or processing in the supply chain. And then there's what? The moving or distribution of the product. There's selling and marketing. And then we have customer service and returns. All these are some of the activities on a typical supply chain. Example, if you want to buy, let's say, Milo, there's a chain for the Milo. Before the Milo could be produced, manufactured, it has to start from somewhere. Okay, so the manufacturers will first of all source for the needed materials, raw materials, for the production of the Milo. Okay, so they'll buy the cocoa beans. And where does the cocoa beans originates from? From the farm, from the farmers. You get it?
Farmers.
So that is the first point. And then once we procure the raw materials, assuming we are buying the raw material from, let's say, Sekwi, Western North, or maybe the Ashanti region. You know, the company that produces Milo in Ghana probably is Nestle, right? Where is Nestle located? Do you know where Nestle Ghana is located?
Tema.
Good. So once the cocoa beans are procured, we need to transport the beans from the farm, from wherever, to the company's side. Okay, so there's a movement. All right. And then between that, before the beans are taken, there's exchange of what? Resources. There's exchange of money. So all the activities are part of what? The supply chain. Then the beans will finally arrive at the production site. Production will continue. And then once production is done, the items, the product or finished product will be moved to what? The wholesalers, the wholesale, before it gets to the retails. Then once it gets to the retails, the consumers or the final users will get access to the final product. So there is a chain, okay, from the point of where raw materials are sourced to the point of manufacturing to wholesale to retail to the final consumer. There is an interconnection, and that is what we refer to as what? The supply chain. Okay, so that is supply chain. And then once we talk about supply chain, then we need to know supply chain management. Supply chain is not the same as supply chain management. I've already explained or defined what a supply chain is. But the moment we introduce management to supply chain, then we can simply say that it is the management of all activities. The activities are the information, knowledge, financial resources associated with the flow and transformation of goods and services from the raw material suppliers and other suppliers in such a way that the expectations of the end users are being met or surpassed. Okay, so activities like the information that has to, move from one point of the chain to the other, the knowledge, the financial resources that move from one point of the chain to the other. Once we manage this information, and specifically we are focusing on, the things that are associated with the flow and transformation of goods, not the other side. Okay, so if it doesn't have anything to do with the flow and transformation of goods and services, it doesn't concern supply chain management. Okay, so once you are managing information, knowledge, financial resources, and you realize that this information or things we've mentioned here have something to do with the movement of goods or transformation of the goods, then we are talking about supply chain management. And I believe this morning you did logistics. Okay, so the logistics can also be defined as...
It didn't come on.
Oh, really? Okay. The process of planning, implementing, controlling the efficient, cost-effective flow and storage of raw materials. Not just that. In-process inventory, not just that. Finished goods and related information from point of origin to point of consumption for the purpose of conforming to customers' requirements. And this definition is coming from the American Council of Logistics Management. I believe you are following where we are heading to. Okay, so we've defined supply chain, we have defined supply chain management. Now we are talking about logistics. Logistics focuses on what? The movement, not just the movement. So once you are thinking about transporting or moving goods and services, you need to look at ways. You need to plan. You need to implement measures that will minimize the costs of transporting the items, minimize wastage in the process of moving items from the point of origin to the point of consumption. The point of origin to the point of consumption, that is logistics. But there's something we call reverse logistics. Reverse logistics. So logistics focuses on what? The movement of goods or services from the point of origin to the point of what? Consumption. Reverse logistics, on the other hand, focuses on the movement of what? Goods from the point of consumption to the point of origin. So it is the opposite of logistics. Reverse logistics is the opposite of logistics. While logistics focuses on moving goods and services from the point of origin to the point of consumption, reverse logistics is the other way around, from the point of consumption to the point of origin. Any question? Any question? If I am moving fast, kindly let me know, because we are using 2 weeks this week and next week to finish the first part. Okay, I think we are good to go. George, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, just where you just you ended by the reverse logistics. Sir, I wanted to ask, what will make what will make us to reverse it, do the reverse logistics? I don't know whether my question is clear. What
Yes,
might
yes.
cause us to do the reverse?
Okay.
Reverse logistics.
Reverse logistics. Okay, so I think it's a good question. Can somebody help us? Normally, when you talk about logistics, it has to move from the point of origin to the point of consumption. Maybe the point of origin could be what? The production house. So once you produce goods, then it moves out of the company, the manufacturing company, to the consumer, the point of consumption. That is how it's supposed to. But sometimes, for some reasons, items will move from the point of consumption, that is from the customer side, to the production side. And I'm seeing 8, about 7, 8. Wonderful. Okay, so Justice, go ahead.
Okay, sir. If I may explain, let's assume you buy from a factory and per their production dates, the goods expires maybe in the next 2 weeks or so. Then you move the items from the manufacturers to your warehouse or station. It gets there, then you see, okay, it's left with 2 or 3 days for these items to expire.
Wonderful.
To send
Wonderful. 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 So that is one of the reasons.